This is Daniel, and this is Down to the Wire. And now we're going to continue our segment of Inside the Numbers with the Memphis Grizzlies, and we're going to talk about Brandon Clarke today. A steal in the last 2019 draft. He was picked 21 in the first round. Grizzlies had 2 picks, John Morant number 2 and Brandon Clarke 21. Just a great steal in the draft. He's a 6'8", 215 power forward. Comes off the bench of the Grizzlies. They're 6-man. Averages 12 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, which is basically 6, 1.4 assists, and he's also shooting 40% from the three-point line and 78% from the free throw line. So just all around, has great numbers, and he gives the Grizzlies a spark off the bench, and just has a really bright future for this team. And he's a part of the Grizzlies core, and he just has a very bright future. Other news around the college football world: former 5-star wide receiver Justin Ross from the University of Clemson had a spine and neck injury, so he'll be out for season. And his career, NFL and college, is in jeopardy right now. So that was a big loss for Clemson. And now their leading receiver coming back is Amari Rodgers, who has not shown that as much production as many people thought he would. More of a speed wide receiver, but that's really going to hurt Trevor Lawrence, and this Clemson offense is really going to take a hit because they lose T. Higgins and Justin Ross. So this is going to hurt Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson's offense. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a big hit, and it will not be the same as it was the past 2 years. So the Clemson team and their whole roster and their offense is just not going to look the same. And I feel bad for Justin Ross, and I hope him nothing but the best. Let's go to the phones. Hello, you're on Down to the Wire.
Hello. I would like to ask, do you think Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to go to the Orlando Magic?
Thank you for your call. I think that no, he won't, because Orlando is sort of a small market team, more of a mid-major market. I mean, they're not a big market, but if he went there, first of all, they don't have the cap space, and why would Giannis go there? Because they're the bottom. Well, I mean, they're usually the 8th seed every year in the Eastern Conference, but the Eastern Conference is bad. And Giannis, if I was him, I'd either re-sign with the Bucks or go to one of the powerful teams in the league, maybe the Lakers if they could afford. So to answer your question again, it is a big no, because the Magic don't have that much to offer besides Jonathan Isaac and Mohamed Bamba. They don't have that many big pieces that can help Giannis, because right now they're just a middle average team right now, middle of the league, and they're not a top team in the league right now. So if Giannis wants to get a ring, he should either re-sign with the Bucks if they're gonna keep showing him that they want to win a finals, or re-sign with another team that has a really good chance to win the finals. So if I were him, I'll go to a team that's competitive to win a title. So I would not go to the Magic, because they're not a good franchise right now. Let's go back to the phones. Hello, you're on Down to the Wire.
Daniel, Elridge Devin Weathersfield III, East Memphis.
Hello, Elridge.
Straight off the pitch, Daniel, like we say in polo, I wanted to state I've held memberships in both the University Club and Chickasaw Country Club here in Memphis since 1989 and 91, respectively. So I actually do have subject matter expertise in sports, not like most, if not all, of your other low-born callers. Can we talk about something I think I may have heard on Inside the Numbers last show?
Sure.
Dylan Brooks. I believe you called him a core player. Is that right?
Yes.
Not so, Daniel. Not so. What was that contract extension?
A 3-year, $36 million contract.
Waste of money, like Chandler Parsons, who I understand from inside sources you also championed at one time. Is that correct?
No, I thought it was a bad signing because he was sort of an unproven player, and the Grizzlies just got trigger happy and just gave him so much money because they had money to spend, and I thought that was terrible at the time.
Well, let's talk about Brooks. 80% at free throws for a shooting guard is a joke, Daniel. Do you know on shooting guards where he ranks with that percentage in the NBA? 58, number 58. I don't know what they call that in Knoxville, but at Rhodes, we call it 58 in F.
Well, Dylan Brooks is certainly a core player in the Grizzlies and in their future because he scores in some of the top 5 numbers in the Grizzlies right now, and he's a nice rebounding guard and he can shoot the 3-ball very well too. So
Not so, Daniel. Not so. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about his 3-point percentage. It's at 36.9%, Daniel. 36.9. Out of the top 100 players in the NBA in 3-point percentage, all the players. Do you know where he is, Daniel? Number 100. Period. Full stop. Mike Conley is better. Mike Conley. Brian Gasol is better. 6'11" Jaren Jackson has a 39 percentage. He's a franchise player, Daniel. A franchise player wannabe.
well,
We should have traded him. We should have traded him while his stock was inflated, just like my WorldCom stock back in 2000, which I made millions of dollars.
well,
I had some inside information on that sale while it was technically illegal, but that was the real inside the numbers, son, let me tell you. Oh, 1 second. My 2 purebred Rhodesian Ridgebacks are causing a commotion. I'll disconnect and listen to your retraction of your previous endorsement of Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Elridge. Well, Brooks, one of the reasons is 37%. He's second on the team on the Grizzlies right now. And, well, he shoots a lot of 3 balls. Most of them go in, but, I mean, he shoots a lot of 3-point field goals and a lot of field goals in general. So, but he certainly is. It's the Grizzlies' main core. I mean, I know people really like Valanciunas, but this is what I think is the main core. Obviously, they just got him Winslow, so he's a nice athletic young piece too. So I'm going to go with these as my core players for the Grizzlies. Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Justice Winslow, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Brandon Clark. I mean, I know they just re-signed Jonas Valanciunas to a 3-year, $45 million contract, but I think he's more of a transitional piece and he's not here for the long run. The Grizzlies, they have a really bright future, and I think Dylan Brooks, I don't know if you're talking about how we should have traded him. I mean, his stock rise this year because he's played so much better and he's developed. I mean, in the past he's been hurt, and now we're just starting to see what this young star has become. I mean, he's really developing, and I think Dylan Brooks is just thriving in this Grizzlies system, and Taylor Jenkins is getting the most out of him. But Dylan Brooks is certainly in the Grizzlies' core. But thank you for your call, Rich. Okay, let's go back to the callers. Hello, you're on Down to the Wire.
Hey, Andy, this is the real Nick from Knoxville. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Hey, doing pretty good, pretty good. Hey, I hear the Catholic Irish started their preseason fall camp this week, and hey, I want to update how the 3 Iverson brothers are starting out first couple days. If you been able to see any practices, give me a little update on their status. I think they got a senior, a junior, and a true freshman.
Yeah.
So I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you for a call. Well, yes, there is 3 Iversons on the Catholic team, and Nicholas, he's one of the premier running backs on the Catholic football team, and he's also going to be a starting corner this year. I've seen a lot of very good things from Nicholas. Obviously, one of the fastest players in Knoxville and the fastest player on Catholic. He's got a lot of talent, and he's just thriving at the Catholic football program, and he's just doing very well. And Nicholas is just doing very well, especially he's an all-purpose back, very fast. I mean, but today they were just going over defense. Today was defense, and I saw a lot of good things from him at corner. He's a lot of talent, and the coaches have really developed Nicholas. Coming in as a freshman, didn't play that much, but he worked his tail off, and now he's the starter. And then Joseph, the sophomore, he's okay. He's pretty good actually. He has some of the best hands on the team. That's what I've heard from some of the players. Rumor going around, but I mean he's not the fastest guy, but he has good hands. And on defense, it's not his specialty, but he's working very hard at it, and the coaches are trying to make him better. And But Joseph still has a little bit to go on the defensive side of the ball. And then Daniel, we thought he was playing B-back, but the coaches had him at wide receiver, and he really liked it. So, I mean, he's got really good hands, and, although he might not be the fastest guy, he's got a quick twitch off the line. And on the linebacker position, he was doing very well, too. Today on defense, the coaches were showing him different schemes, and Daniel picked it up very well. But then again, so did Joseph. I mean, Catholic's going with the new system, a 3-4 base defense. So all three of the Iversons are just doing very well at the Catholic football program, and I think Catholic has a bright future with the Iversons. Let's go back to the phones. Hello, you're on Down to the Wire.
Hey, Fred Poser, Fredwood.
Hello, Fred.
I was just on my way to Entworth for a wine and cheese gala, and I was listening to that masterful Mr. Elridge from East Memphis. He seemed like he was spot on about Mr. Brooks there for the Grizzlies, and I wanted to get your more thoughts on that.
Well, I didn't really agree with him because he didn't seem to like Dylan, but I think Dylan has worked his tail off to get where he is right now, coming in as a second-round pick. Many people didn't think he'd fit into the NBA, but he's really just turned himself into a very good NBA player. He shoots a lot of three balls. That's why I heard Elridge talk about how he was 37% from the three-point line. That's because he shoots a lot of three-pointers. And he's a very aggressive, too. He drives to the basket very hard. And he's a really good defender, too, also, especially on the perimeter. And he's athletic, too. Many people doubt his athleticism, but he's a very underrated player for the Grizzlies.
Do you think he takes away from John and Jared?
I wouldn't say he takes away from them because sometimes when Ja is struggling, Dylan Brooks takes the load off their Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja's shoulders and does some of the dirty work.
Well, I appreciate those comments, Daniel.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your call. Back to the callers. Hello, you're on Down to the Wire.
Daniel! Nick! It's Lehigh County, Nick!
Hello, Nick.
How's it going tonight, Daniel?
Pretty good.
First time listener, third time caller. Daniel, I'm finally getting that part right. But hey, man, I think there's a huge Can we talk NBA?
Yeah.
Daniel, I think there is a huge controversy brewing with the whole playoffs. Have you heard?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, I was seeing this mock playoff schedule, and Daniel, it says, are you sitting down, Daniel?
Yes.
Daniel, it says all-time Eastern. Daniel, are they trying to leave the Western Conference teams off? Have you heard, Daniel?
Yeah, I don't really understand what the NBA is doing right now. It's, they're trying to do also like a play-in tournament, but I think it'd be unfair to like the Memphis Grizzlies at the 8th spot because they've already worked their tail off to get there, and they're 3.5 games above some of the other teams in the West, like the Pelicans and the Trailblazers, and I just don't think it'd be fair for them to have the same shot as the Grizzlies to get in the playoffs after they've already earned a spot there, and I think that the NBA should just go right into the playoffs with the seeds they have right now. It's just very confusing what the NBA is doing right now. Obviously, on Thursday, they're going to vote for their resumption of the season, but, it's just really confusing.
Daniel, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for your call, Nick. Thank you for watching this episode of Down to the Wire, and sorry for the technical difficulties because we had a guest cameraman and we just fired him because of his terrible filming. But hope to see you next Tuesday, and thank you for watching.